Stupid science. Stupid science.
Science. Pew, pew, pew. Welcome to Stupid Science with JD and Lisa. It is episode number 32. Very excited to be here. Lovely, lovely day. And let's jump right into the first segment. My favorite segment. I say that about both segments. Stupid criminals.
Stupid criminals.
So stupid.
Coming to you here from Key West, Florida.
Lovely Key West.
We are going to jump right into the stupid criminals, as you said. Walmart. We got.
That's how I enter Walmart as well. I jump right in. Those doors open, and being a Florida girl, I just jump right on in. I'm like, I'm here.
Been along the space coast of Florida, up in Melbourne. Mm-hmm. They got called to Walmart at 10 a.m. for a 39-year-old white male named Aaron Gregory because he was on one of those little drivable shopping cart things.
A little jealous of those.
Swerving through the store, crashing into the aisles, crashing into customers.
Driving recklessly?
Drunk.
That's still a DUI.
It was. He got arrested for a DUI. You were joking. He got arrested for a DUI in Walmart at 10 a.m.
You win. You win. You win. This guy wins for 2022.
They had to take him out in a stretcher because he was too drunk to be responsive to the cops.
Well, the first responders wanted to take care. Because whenever there is a vehicular accident, you wanna treat everyone respectfully and make sure no further injuries occur.
He refused the field sobriety test in the Walmart, and he was barely able to stand.
You failed it. The fact that we had to walk over to you means you failed it. He was drunk.
Possession of an open container, because in the little basket in the thing there, he had his bottle that he was drinking.
Oh, well, they were just racking up.
It was yeah.
They went to the back of the thing and they knocked out a tail light, and they're like, "Your tail light's busted. We're writing you up for that."
He had a bottle of vodka in the basket, and it was 2/3 empty. He had drank 2/3 of a bottle of vodka, which is actually medically quite serious.
That's a lot of vodka. That's why they had the stretcher. He levitated, and so they just put him on the stretcher.
It was
way to go, buddy. Wow. Well, I wish him well. Thank you, Walmart.
Meanwhile,
we don't have one down here. So we have to look to other Florida towns for our Walmart stories. So I appreciate that.
Now, meanwhile, in other far more bizarre news,
we'll see.
Mr. Corey Johnson, age 29, he didn't want to wait to like these other guys and waste his life waiting until his late 30s to get into the Florida man news. He's a go-getter. Mr. Corey Johnson, age 29, of Ocala, Florida.
It's lovely there.
You say that at the beginning of all of these stories.
It's lovely in a lot of Florida places.
Until the people show up.
And then the humans get drunk in Walmart.
So he was just arrested on Friday. And so he was arrested for a number of reasons. Mm-hmm. The first reason was that he stole a Ford F-150. A 2013 Ford F-150.
Yeah, it was Florida. I knew it was going to be F-150.
That started 3 days prior. Mm-hmm. And then he drove
Step one is the vehicular theft. Yes. Stay tuned.
Stay tuned. Yeah, the story continues. As the story unfolds, he drives it to Patrick Space Force Base, which is located in Brevard County. Mm-hmm. 3 days away, approximately.
No, it isn't. Brevard. There is nothing in Florida that driving takes 3 days. But go ahead.
It took him 3 days.
Go ahead. Okay.
To get there.
I digress. When you're driving in a straight line, it shouldn't take 3 days.
He stole the vehicle while at Riviera Beach. He would later tell deputies he has no idea who the owner was. It was just some random vehicle.
Why would I know who owns this?
He stole the vehicle because...
It's not my job to know who owns it. It's your job to know who owns it.
That is your job. Come on now, I got to do the work for you. The reason he stole it, was because President Biden had spoken to him in his head... Inside of his head, not through his phone or anything, but in his head.
Yeah, that's how.
And told him to steal the truck.
That's how the leaders speak to you.
And drive it over to the Space Force base because he needed to warn them. Apparently, President Biden couldn't call the base by himself. He needed this gentleman via the skull communications.
That's how apostles
to come
work,
and warn them.
Jeff. Yeah, JD.
And the thing that he needed to warn them about as he broke onto the base in the stolen vehicle.
I'm listening for this holy edict from Unky Joe.
He needed to warn the U.S. government about a war between space aliens and Chinese dragons.
Oh no! Oh, buddy. Okay, what's this guy's first name again? Because here's where you messed up. You took shrooms,
Corey Johnson,
and Corey, and then you made the mistake of accidentally watching Avengers Endgame and Shang-Chi back to back.
Back to back.
You can't watch it back to back. You got to split them up with like Black Widow in the middle.
Or leave a note for yourself. You took shrooms.
Don't leave a note.
You took acid.
No, don't leave a note, because he's gonna think that note is from God on high.
It was.
So after getting this very important message, is our government going to follow these directions, or are they just going to ignore it like idiots?
No, these fools, they just arrested this messenger from Joe Biden because clearly they're, part of the deep state.
Yeah, because if Biden had called them, it would have been intercepted by the dragons.
But don't worry, his bond is $3,000, so I'm sure he'll be out there fighting for truth and justice soon enough. Chinese dragons.
Those are the best dragons.
You had to warn them. I love the
not
fact
Middle
that
Earth, not Middle Earth dragons.
The President of the United States needed him to go to the military base to warn the U.S. government about the aliens fighting Chinese
But it does
dragons.
kind of sound like a religious calling, because a lot of those stories in the Bible, someone said God told them to do a thing with like no instructions. It's like, how am I supposed to get there? That's not my business. How you get there? I guess I'm still in a car.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's almost like
a truck.
It's almost like they were crazy.
Hey, you watch yourself. Chinese dragons. Band name seems racist, but I'm still going to call it.
Now these next couple stories,
the world will tell me if it's problematic or not. Spoiler.
It is. These next two stories, not so much stupid criminal as just stupid and weird.
Okay.
And then just I really enjoyed these stories.
Stupid and weird.
For their weirdness. So Moscow, there's
heard of it.
There's a chess tournament going on, as there often is, right? Russians are big into chess, famously.
They love it.
So last week there was the Moscow Chess Open tournament. And one of the things that goes on there sometimes is,
chess.
In addition to the chess, the human-on-human chess, is robot on-human chess.
Don't say human-on-human.
They like to expand. They like to run these tests where people build robots, computerized robots, and have the robots play the humans.
Ooh.
And
sounds kind of thrilling.
So, and a lot of these chess players are kids, prodigies, geniuses. So there was a video shared on social media the other day in which a robot playing against a human child.
You build a robot to play against a person.
Yes, correct.
Oh, I'm caught up. I'm thinking the human on human, as you phrase it, was in one room, and the robot on robot was in another room. Remember that show, BattleBots?
They have like a playoff tournament. No.
Yeah.
It's just a robot playing a human, right?
I'm caught up.
A robot is playing a human child.
Have I been invited to this champion tournament? I have not.
And so there's video on social media now of this because it got a bit exciting, got a bit unusual. In that first, the robot steals one of the kid's pieces, and then that gets resolved, and then the kid tries to move a piece, and the robot grabs the kid's hand and breaks his finger. The robot broke the finger of the child opponent in the chess match.
We need one of those, like the network channel is off the air. Beeps. What?
Yeah.
Is that person's child okay?
He's okay. He continued playing with a cast on his hand.
He continued playing?
Yeah, the next day in the tournament.
That's an effing champion.
That's a champion. The parents, the game itself, the parents, all these adults that were watching rushed in and rescued the child, and they took the robot out. And of course, the people running it are
Wow.
according to the person running it, Sergei Lazarev, president of the Moscow Chess Federation agency, quote, "Of course this is bad."
I want to talk to the programmers.
So apparently
that's not bad code. That's
interesting
well
you say
played.
that. It's interesting you point that out because the Chess Federation has rented this robot many times before. Mm-hmm. And played it. And so, apparently, without incident.
Yeah.
And they're saying this like it should be reassuring, but what that tells me is that this AI has been learning and has become more aggressive.
Yeah. He
over
stole
time
a piece. When you said stole a piece, do you mean he won a piece?
No, he took a piece off the board, like cheated, like took a piece off the board, trying to defeat the opponent. Like it's become the AI. To my mind, this is meant to be. This is in the oddities section. So it's to my mind, it's meant to be a story in this article in the oddities section of AP. Is meant to be. Oh, look at this weird, quirky thing that happened. And oh my God, the poor child.
And this should be in our science section.
The AI has learned to become more aggressive in a way that is like untaught and like actually making aggressive maneuvers against other creatures, other beings in its gameplay.
A goal. It's an unwanted. We don't love it, but it is a goal of artificial intelligence to learn that type of self-preservation.
Yeah, it's kind of scary in a number of ways that I don't think people are realizing that this robot just attacked someone in order to achieve the goal in a way that was not
could have done it the way I've done it before. But I want to win, bitch.
But I'm going to break the rules I was programmed to follow.
And I broke one rule, and you didn't like it, so I broke a finger.
Yeah, right. Wow. And for our final story.
I hope that kid's okay. That kid's fine. That kid's got a nice story. It got a nice battle scar.
Right. Yeah, he got injured playing chess. He's going to be getting all the chess girls. He's going to be getting all that chess.
Both of them?
Both of them. He's going to be getting all that chess pussy, though. Because he's got a cast on now, walking around. He's going to be the only guy who ever got injured playing chess.
Well, he's going to be noteworthy for a few reasons. Because in my mind, he's the first fallen in the war against the machine.
In the war against the machine.
Yeah.
He's going to be remembered. He's going to be marked in history on this day in history.
Sarah Connor's going to send a Terminator back to protect this kid. We can't let this happen, this first domino. And we all laughed.
For our next story, we're going to go to Poland now.
It's beautiful there.
A respected Polish scientific institute has classified domestic cats as, quote, an invasive alien species. Citing...
Where do you want to begin? Those were three words I have problems with, too.
Citing the damage that they cause to birds and other wildlife, and the fact that they're non-native to Poland. So now they are an invasive alien species. Lots of people are mad. They're sending them emails and stuff. He said, apparently the criteria for including an animal among alien invasive species under that category are 100% met by the cat. Quote.
Guy whose cat-loving girlfriend just dumped him. Well, good luck with the army of cat ladies on the internet who are coming at you, Poland. Do not. I don't think this was a good idea. You better let those cats do what they must. You don't want to get them spayed en masse? No. You want to say, take them down.
Some media reports have created the false impression his institute was calling for feral and other cats to be euthanized. He said that is not the case.
It's just exactly what I said.
It's just
and exactly the way it got interpreted.
Of the thing.
So what is the point of classifying?
I don't know. He's just saying that that's a thing.
Yeah, because he got in trouble. Getting yelled at by cat ladies.
Now, Dora Suminska, the author of a book titled, quote,
I love my cats.
The Happy Cat, pointed to other causes of shrinking biodiversity, including a polluted environment and urban building facades that can kill birds in flight, suggesting maybe it wasn't the cats that was causing the reduction in the number of birds.
Polish cats getting scapegoated? You hate to see it. You hate to see it. They're getting cat-goated.
And then
Why didn't I say scape cats?
And then she went on to ask if humans are on the list.
Well,
That's
now
true.
we've effed up as humans in another way because we've got the AI coming for us. And now that cats realize that we're on to them, they're gunning.
When the robots and the cats team up.
That's not fair.
On that note, we're going to take a musical break. And when we come back, we will have...
Science.
Stupid science. Stupid science.
Science. Pew, pew, pew. Welcome back. It's Stupid Science with JD and Lisa, and we are ready for my favorite section, science news.
Science. All right, and first up today, this month, this particular episode in Science News.
Drop a pen in it.
We're going to the sea.
The ocean? I thought you meant the letter C.
No, that's our scientific breakthrough on the letter C.
That's what my brain processed, and I was ready. I was here for it. But we're going to the ocean.
Brought
Instead.
to you by the letter C. Yes, the ocean is where we're going.
Oh, man. All right.
Oh, my God. We're going to the letter... Okay.
Told you. This all stays in, Jimmy.
All right, we're going to... Right now we're going to go to the ocean. Where they are... You ever wonder how an electric eel, for example, and other types of electric fish are able to be electric?
In the water? That's
In the
creepy.
water. It is.
Don't make no sense.
And they not only are they able to be electric,
Have that charge.
but they can distinguish other electric fish by species, sex, and even by individual, thanks to these electric organs, that they have electric organs inside their body. So
And those receptors can receive information and process it. And wow, fascinating.
So there's an article, a research published in the journal Science Advances.
Science advances.
Describes how minor genetic alterations allowed electric fish to develop electric organs.
That is interesting.
So every fish has 2 copies of the same gene, which creates sodium channels. Then these function as microscopic muscle motors. So electric fish, they're able to shut off one copy of the sodium channel in the muscle and turn it into other cells to evolve, and this allowed it to evolve electric organs.
Wow. Get the hell out of here.
Okay, but then you're going to be alone.
And then I won't hear the rest of this. Go.
So the small motors that normally cause muscles to contract were transformed into electric signal generators instead.
Neat.
And that is the mutation that creates electric fish, like electric eels.
Oh, wow. I love it.
So
Don't contract.
So they're saying, this is really exciting because we can see small changes in the gene that completely change where it's expressed, said Harold Zakon, Z-A-K-O-N, Zakon, a professor of neuroscience and integrative biology at the University of Texas at Austin. He's one of the corresponding authors on the study.
That is fascinating evolution.
Researchers from Michigan State University and UT Austin report their findings in this new paper. They verified that this control region is either changed or completely absent in electric fish. And because of this, one of the 2 sodium channels is disabled in the muscles of the fish, and that's why it works. But they're saying the implications go far beyond the electric fish themselves.
Love it.
Let's see what else is going on in the world of science.
Way to go, scientists. That's huge.
Oxford, over in England, you may have heard of it?
Heard of it, mate.
They just had a comprehensive new study released that shows alcohol ages people. I know.
Who funded this?
Oxford in England. The English funded this.
Oh, what individual
Apparently,
in administration?
apparently England has been in a decades-long study to study how drinking affects people.
Started in 1305. And although we find it real fun, apparently it does a little bit of damage.
I mean, while it seems like this should fall under the no shit headline,
Oh, of course.
the-
Another study.
what they specifically studied was how alcohol affected telomeres. And so every cell in your body, is constant for the skin cells, liver cells, all that, eye cells. They're always dying off and reproducing. And every time that happens, little telomeres, these things on the end of the chromosomes, which protect them from fraying, are getting shorter and shorter with each one until eventually they get so short the cell can't reproduce anymore.
Death.
And so you can tell, technically, how old a person is if you can see in a lab situation how short the telomeres are.
Cool. Very, very cool.
Alcohol, other things, that's of course if nothing else has caused damage to the cell other than aging.
Got it.
Alcohol causes damage to the cell according to this comprehensive study and makes it age faster. So it's like adding more time. The more you drink, if you drink excessively, the more damage you'll cause to these telomeres, and it will do the same damage to the cells that additional years would have done, is what they're saying.
That's very sciencey.
Researchers from Oxford Population Health examined
Where'd they find any drinkers?
245,000 people in the UK Biobank project. The team used a genetic technique known as the Mendelian randomization, which looks at variations in genes beyond, so you're not, in order to make sure you're getting a properly randomized study.
Got it. Of people willing to take the sacrifice and drink.
So
science.
basically drinking 32 units of alcohol, which is about 11 glasses of wine per week, showed telomere shortening, equivalent to around 3 years of aging. So if you drink 11 drinks a week, every week, that's 3 years of aging, compared to those who drank 10. Wow. So that they're saying that one drink is... Oh, no. That's 32 units versus 10 units, I see.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So that's quite a difference. So 32 units equals 11 drinks. So whatever the math is on that versus 10...
It's basically 1 a night, and then on the weekends you're having 2 a night.
Right. So if you drink socially, this probably you're not too worried about. But if you drink like a drunk... Surprising news,
what?
It's going to age you.
No one told me that.
Prematurely.
No one, what?
And now they know why.
And that's science.
Specific science. Now we know specifically why. It's because the telomeres on the end of your chromosomes are getting their asses kicked by the alcohol.
Booze.
Boom. Oxford. Thank you. More uplifting medical science news.
Okay, let's do that.
Talking about how
Uplift the people.
Alzheimer's and gut health are connected.
I am listening. I am extremely interested in both those topics.
There's this study by Professor Simon Laws. He's the senior author from the Center for Precision Health at Edith Cowan University, which is in Australia.
Okay, good day.
Now, what they were studying was whether or not there was a connection between gut health and Alzheimer's, because there's just a lot of anecdotal evidence to suggest there was.
Gut your second brain.
So they analyzed genetic data from 15 large genome studies, most of which involved 400,000 people or more in each one of these individual 15 studies, containing information from Alzheimer's and gut disease disorders. They found certain genes were associated with having both AD and certain gut disorders, AD being Alzheimer's disease, and such as gastroesophageal reflux disease, GERD, peptic ulcer disease, gastritis duodenitis, irritable bowel syndrome, and diverticulitis. All of these, now they're not saying there's a causal link between the two, but they're finding that they repeatedly, in these 15 studies, over 400,000 people each, they are continuously seeing these things appear together in these studies.
Some connection.
There's got to be some kind of a connection. The researchers also looked at the biological pathways in which these genes involved in both disorders acted and found an overrepresentation of lipid-related, fat-related, and immune system-related pathways. So the pathways that fats and immune systems travel through, these two pathways seem to be connected by these genes. And the genes that are affecting Alzheimer's, the genes that are affecting these gut diseases.
Ooh, like those tau proteins that affect Alzheimer's. Okay. I really want to follow this field of study, looking for this connection.
Yeah, there's a possibility.
Extremely fascinated.
Yeah, it is. It's very fascinating. There's a suggested, not confirmed, but suggested association between abnormal cholesterol, gut disorders, and AD. A lot of further study is needed to. Their findings suggest that drugs to control lipid homeostasis and inflammation may be potential treatments for Alzheimer's. Now, again, this is a suggestion, not a confirmed thing.
Early days, a hypothesis to be investigated and tested,
and therefore
altered if necessary.
That would lead one to conclude, according to the authors of this study, that statins, which are used to lower cholesterol, may prove useful in treating both conditions. The gut problems, and the Alzheimer's problems.
Continue down this path.
Yeah.
That is very exciting,
That's
Australia.
exciting news, yeah.
Good on you, mate.
Meanwhile, we're gonna, for our last two stories here, we're gonna switch tracks and head to the moon.
I love it there.
NASA's Artemis 1 mission. Not motion, but mission. NASA's Artemis 1 moon mission.
No, let's go to the motion.
Will lift off about a month from now, August 29th.
Ooh.
If everything goes according to plan.
Very cool.
NASA's Artemis 1 mission is launching, and they will use a space launch system. That's what they call it, a space launch system, which seems like a bit on the nose.
Yeah.
But whatever, SLS mega rocket.
You put all of your brain power into making it work. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, don't worry about the name. We'll be
put
all
a
right.
little bit of time into naming it. We're fine. Just don't do it the other way.
It's a mega rocket, and it's going to send an uncrewed Orion capsule on a multi-week mission around the moon and back. I just made a circle with my hand to symbolize going around the moon, which none of you could see out there, but I'm sure that was very helpful anyway.
We have faith that we'd be able to understand around the moon without a visual.
But nonetheless, it was a very nice visual aid. I'm sure you would have enjoyed it if you could have seen it. At any rate, the target date is not set in stone, but it is the 29th of August. Hopefully all will go well. They must meet a variety of checkouts and other milestones to make it happen.
Godspeed.
So it's one of the placeholder dates. Yada yada. It will be the first mission in NASA's Artemis program, thus Artemis 1. That's how they came up with that name. It's very clever. You guys are good with the naming. You got to really give them credit over there. At least it's not like XL3-571.
Oh, what a beautiful heavenly body.
Which is the way they normally name things. So it's out there, getting down to Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It's been there since March, getting ready to launch, and they're going to go, and it is a shakeout cruise to show that the SLS and Orion are ready to carry astronauts, but it has a secondary goal. CubeSats is going to hitch a ride on the huge moon rocket. These tiny spacecraft will perform a variety of off-Earth work, hunting for water on the moon, solar sailing to an asteroid to test how deep space radiation affects yeast cells, among other little things like that to give NASA some background information about stuff they need for future missions.
We're sending little robots into space and making them do work for us?
Yes.
Nobody tell them about the robot in Russia that broke that kid's finger, please.
Yes, nobody tell them. They don't need to know about that.
They don't need to know about that. We could do what if we don't want to do this?
So, meanwhile...
Harvest your own yeast.
So the whole point of all this, right, is, sending ships around the moon and going back to the moon, is that eventually we want to have...
permanent station.
A permanent station on the moon. And the people living on the moon. And, of course, the moon, generally thought of as an inhospitable environment.
No offense, Moon, but I've kind of thought that.
Maybe not so much, as it turns out. New research from planetary scientists at the University of California, Los Angeles, have discovered that on the moon, now while most of the moon temperatures vary from 260 during the day to 280 below at night, however, there are pockets on the moon, there are caves on the moon where it stabilizes. And the moon has these pits and caves where temperatures stay at roughly 63 degrees Fahrenheit all the time.
Nice.
Night and day, 365. Well, I guess it's not 360, but whatever it is up there. One.
Daily.
But it makes, so it is possible. And not only that, but these caves, because of the material of the walls and whatnot, it helps block the radiation of the sun.
I'm listening.
That's hitting the surface of the moon. So the solar radiation, cosmic rays, micrometeorites that are bombarding the surface of the moon all the time.
Yeah, you got a lot of craters.
Bombarding might be the wrong word for micrometeorites, but whatever, you get the idea.
Still,
raining, perhaps raining.
That can do damage for a human habitat.
Yeah, exactly. It's better not to happen. In all...
Caves are looking better. Moon caves are looking better and better.
Yes. Or, alternative theory, they're prepping us for the reveal of Hollow Moon.
What is that, like Sailor Moon?
No, you never heard the Hollow Moon conspiracy theories?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry, that joke fell flat. There's a whole conspiracy theory that the moon is actually hollow, and there's like a base inside or something.
There's already a base there?
And sometimes it's aliens, and sometimes it's Americans or Russians or whatever. But that really, I'm just going to edit that out. Because it went nowhere.
You know what? Mentally, same.
So there are 16 of over 200 discovered pits, most likely come from collapsed lava tubes, tunnels that form from cooled lava or crust. And they think overhangs inside these lunar pits, which were initially discovered in 2009, could be the reason for the stable temperature.
Okay. Yeah.
So there are, I don't know how many. There are some that they've discovered that are about the size of a football field.
Ooh, you can make a nice encampment there.
Yeah. I don't know how many of these are actually, because, they say they've discovered 200, but that doesn't mean all 200 are habitable. Like 16 of them have the lava. So how many of these are actually going to work? I think that's still all up in the air, trying to figure it out.
America will claim them all. Don't worry about it. They'll get numbered when America claims them all.
And we don't need to... I don't think it's necessary to actually have the entire settlement in these, but that's a good starting place. That makes it much easier to get started.
Right.
Settling. Like if you can set up in a cave, like you said, an encampment inside one of these caves, and then you can go out onto the surface and build something larger.
Exciting.
Or dig a larger thing like that.
Since you're already... it's...
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got to be on the surface all the time.
Why you got to be on the surface? Dig underground. Have a whole underground... Dig a hollow moon. And then...
Make it happen.
Make it happen.
I love it.
Science. All right, on that note, that is Stupid Science signing off. This is JD and Lisa. We hope you laughed. We hope you learned. We out.
Stupid Science. Stupid Science.
Science. Pew, pew, pew.